Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Caregiver and Spoonie podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Banderas. And before we get started, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes of the podcast. And let's go ahead and get into today's episode, shall we? Now, on today's episode, like it says on the title, there's no magic pill. And the reason why I wanted to do this episode is because I have a lot of friends that are Spoonies, and there's a lot of people that I know that they wish there was a pill that will fix all of their problems, even money problems, emotional problems, like things like that. So this is not in regards to people that are taking medicines and are helping. Like, for example, if you're taking like medicine that is helping you for your depression and it's actually helping you be out of the depression, that's great. Keep taking them. If your medicine is helping you, then keep taking it. But if it's not helping you, then that's when you have to look at other things that could be causing the problems. Like, you have to literally broaden your view as to what could be causing the problem. That's pretty much why I'm making this episode. So this is not judgment or anything like that. This is just what I wanted to talk about because of my own experience and because of the people that I talk to, how they feel like there should be a pill that can fix their pain, that can fix their emotions, that can let them be stronger, faster, whatever. Like I know a lot of people that actually feel that way. There's somebody that actually asked me the other day if there's a pill that can make him smarter. And I was like, I don't know about that, dude. But I'm sorry to tell you this, but there's no magic pill. There is no magic pill. If you're already taking medicine, and it's not helping you, then the issue could be deeper. Like, I have talked about this and in other episodes where, like, if you're depressed or you have anxiety or you have chronic pain and you take opiates, you take depression medicine, you take anxiety medicine, and it's not helping, it's not working, it's not doing what it's supposed to, it could be because your body is not processing it correctly, which that's a completely different episode. And also it could be something deeper. It could be something related to trauma or your emotions, and unfortunately medicine is not going to fix that. Believe me, since I had PTSD, I remember a lot of times when I was feeling sad or everything, and I just wanted the sadness to go away or the pain to go away, but it will never go away. So I understood from a young age that the medicine wasn't going to help. I don't even know how I understood, but that's why when I got my diagnosis and the doctor said, like, oh, you have PTSD, or you have what is considered PTSD at that point, I was like, medicine is not going to help it, because like it says, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. So something traumatic happened and it's causing me stress and it's causing me to act out. And it was like, after we went to therapy, I realized that pretty much the way that I was raised, it wasn't a good way for me to be raised, at least. I mean, it could have been the only way that my mom could have raised me, but it wasn't a good way for me to be raised, and that's what caused my PTSD. So if you feel like you had a traumatic experience during your life, or growing up, you saw something that you might not even remember. That's the thing, is like the mind might forget what happened, but your body is not going to forget the emotion. Or the feeling of whatever happened. Like, so if somebody, let's say, like, you were too young and somebody beat you up, you might not remember who beat you up, but you're still going to remember the feeling of getting beat up. And that's pretty much what's going to cause the trauma. That's pretty much what the trauma is. That's what causes the trauma. You're going to hold on to that feeling, and when you start feeling that feeling again, let's say because of your partner getting too aggressive, or somebody gets too aggressive, then you're just going to like act out in self-defense. Like, you're going to be like almost like snapping out. Like, you could either shut down or you can get aggressive yourself to protect yourself. That's pretty much what it is. At least that's what happened to me. And that's why when I say this, I mean it with like with all due respect. It's all on you. If you're already taking medicine and it's not helping, at this point it's all on you for you to figure out what exactly is going on. Because the doctor probably, like I have mentioned in other episodes, is not going to do the research that your condition needs, is not going to literally look at your chart 24/7. So you have to take control of that. He's like, you know what? My doctor is not gonna do this for me 24/7. He's not gonna research my condition, or is not gonna research myself every day. So I had to take control of what's going on. Like, so for example, if you're feeling depressed, sometimes if you're able to, you could do this. You could actually write down the reason why you're feeling depressed, if you're able to figure it out. If you're not able to figure it out, then another way to help you is going to therapy. That's pretty much what helped me. And like I said, therapy is optional. It's up to you. You don't have to go if you don't want to, because I know it's hard, but it's going to help you. If you feel depressed, if you have certain feelings that you don't know where they're coming from or what's causing those feelings, and the medication is not helping, then due to the research that I have done, what that tells me is that, and even in my own experience, especially when I was angry all the time, that tells me that the medicine is not going to fix it. The issue is emotional. The issue will be more emotional. So it's all on you to figure out what's causing those emotions to come back to the surface. You know, like it's gonna be like, oh, I feel angry. And I know a lot of people, this happened to me, that you might feel angry, you might feel upset, but you might feel sad, but you don't even know why. It just comes out. So, and like I have said before, if there's a chemical imbalance in your brain, that should fix it. The medicine should fix it, because the medicine is going to be the chemicals that your body is missing or that your brain is missing, so it's going to change it. And I'm just giving you this example with the brain and like with depression and anxiety, but there's so many other examples, like with chronic pain, things like that. You know, like there's so many examples to go to, but I like to talk about the brain and mental health because of my own experience. So that's why I'm saying it. So in that situation, is like, for example, like I was saying, like you might feel sad, you might feel depressed, you might feel upset, you might feel angry, and you don't even know where that's coming from. You might just want the feeling to go away, but the feeling might never go away, even if you take your medicine, because the issue is not being caused by a chemical imbalance in your brain that could be causing that, which there are chemical imbalances in your body or in your brain that can cause situations like that. So that's why when you take the medicine and it doesn't work, then you have to look deeper. So that's why I say, like, there's no magic pill that can cure you. Sometimes there's like different things that you have to change in order to cure yourself, or in order to feel at least a little bit better. Like I have said before, 1%, getting 1% better every day is better than 0%. That's pretty much my opinion. And once, at least with me, once I realized that there's no magic pill, there's no magic pill that was going to take away my sadness, that was going to take my anger, that was going to take my pain or my inflammation or all the things that have been going on through my life, I had to do my own research. So I had to do my own research. So when I was diagnosed with PTSD, what I had to do is like, I had to look it up and say like, okay, like what exactly is PTSD? Because I thought that PTSD it's only for people that were like either in the war or they had gone through something very traumatic, like, you know, like, I don't know, like almost like death, pretty much, like something very traumatic. Because I didn't think that the way that I was raised was traumatic. I just thought that it was the way life was, which is not. And a lot of people actually think that same way. And especially with everything that's going on right now with the pandemic and everything, you have to understand that if we don't take care of our mental health, that's gonna spiral out of control, and it can cause other type of health issues. Because if you're like me, I get stressed. When I get stressed, I like to eat, and I like to eat a lot. And there are certain foods that I cannot eat anymore because it causes inflammation. So if you're a stress eater right now, fuck, there's so much fucking stress. You see it on the news, you see it everywhere. Like, there's so much stress. You're gonna eat. You might be eating something that you really, really like. Like, for example, I like chocolate. I like Reese's peanut butter cups. I eat a lot of those. But guess what? Sugar doesn't do me. My body and sugar don't work together anymore. You know, like, I get inflammation because of the sugar. It's too much sugar. Like, refined sugar causes inflammation if you have too much. Obviously, everything has to be, everything has to have moderation, pretty much. So I eat a lot. I eat a lot of ice cream. I eat a lot of sweets because I know that, because, you know, like, I like sweet stuff because I guess I'm sweet, I guess. But anyway, like, you might be eating so many things that your body is reacting to it, and you don't even know it. And then you have inflammation, you have depression, you have anxiety. And sometimes, and this is true, and like I said, this is why you have to do sometimes your own research, because I didn't believe it. Sometimes, depending on what you eat and how your body reacts to it, if your body can absorb it correctly or not, it can cause anxiety. It can cause depression, whatever you eat. Because one of the things that we don't know, and this is why I like to do the research, is that, not that we don't know, but a lot of people don't understand, and it's kind of hard to understand. Even I still don't understand it very well. Is that our body, or even our brain and our gut are connected. Our gut is our second brain. It has, like, what, 50 billion or 50 million or 500 million neurons. So it's almost like a second brain. So if you're gonna eat something that makes your stomach upset, and your gut or your stomach has all these neurons and they get upset, that's gonna send a message to your brain to be upset, or to be sad, or to be depressed, you know? So that's pretty much what I'm saying. Do your own research, because if that's causing some of the issues, what you eat, how you feel, or whatever, then the pill is not gonna fix it. Like I said, if it's working for you, great, keep taking it. Never stop taking your medication without talking to an actual doctor, because I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you based on my experience. And once you do your own research, then you have to try everything that you can do to get better. Like I have said in other episodes, I started to cut down on bread. I love bread. I started to cut down on Mexican food. I'm Mexican. I love food that's in my veins. Like, and the reason why I had to cut down on Mexican food is because it's so greasy. It's so full of fat. And I started to notice as well that it doesn't do me any good. It actually makes my stomach upset now. So I'm like, oh crap, I have to stop. I have to stop eating the things that I love. And I'm not saying like you have to cut them out of your life. You just have to cut them down to where you just eat them, let's say, instead of like once every day, how about once per week, once per month? It's almost like a cheat day, you know? Whatever you figure out that's causing the issue, like if you like, I have this good example. Like, me and my mom, we don't talk to each other very often. We do talk, but we don't talk to each other very often because she's a complainer. She's I don't want to sound rude, but she's a downer. Everything that she does, she's always complaining about her life and complaining about other people and things like that. So I don't like to talk to her because sometimes it's hard just to deal with that. It's like, gosh, I have my own problems now. I have to listen to your problems, and because you're my mom, I still want to help you, even though we don't have that relationship. I still want to help you. So right now I can't help her. So I decided not to talk to her very often because all she does is complain and complain and complain. Like, there's not. So pretty much there's nothing good going on her life. She just complains and complains and complains, and I'm like, I just don't want to listen to all the complaining. And it's not because I want to listen, it's because it's like they're like, why don't you just try to change something, you know? And I told her that one day and she got mad. So that's why I was like, well, you want to complain with somebody else, because if you want to talk about your issues with me, I'm gonna listen, but I'm also gonna tell you like, hey, maybe you need to do this or maybe you need to do that, because obviously there's a pattern where you keep complaining about the same thing over and over and over again. It's like something has to change, and you have to realize that as well, that sometimes you have to change certain things. Like if somebody in your family, your friends, or whoever brings you down because they try to chop you down, and they're like mean at you, they're mean to you, and they always criticize you, maybe you have to cut down that person or cut off that person. If somebody is like making you upset because of the way that you talk to somebody, maybe you need to either set the boundaries for that person or cut them off, because if it makes you upset and you want to be like the good friend and still talk to that person, then you might feel angry at one point, or it might affect you in emotionally, and like we already know, if it affects you emotionally, at one point it's going to affect your body. So that's why you have to try everything you can, okay? And remember, like, there's no magic cure. There's no magic cure for chronic pain, unfortunately. There's no magic cure for mental health issues. There's no magic cure for a lot of things. And the all we can do, like I have mentioned in so many times, is that we can only try to get better. There's no guarantee that we're going to get better. The only guarantee is that in the process of getting better, we're just gonna actually learn more about what's going on. And that's pretty much what we should be focusing on. Learning more and more about ourselves, about the conditions, because what if whatever you learn doesn't help you? But if you say it to somebody else, or if you tell that to somebody else, and that's pretty much why I'm doing the podcast, because of the things that I've done with my wife and the things that I've done with myself. Maybe some of those things don't work for me, but what if it works for you? You know? Or what if whatever you're doing might not work for you, but you say that to somebody else that's having like the same type of condition, or the same type of issues, like, oh, well, this didn't work for me, but I tried this. What if it works for you? And that person tries it, and then it works for them. You know, like right there, you're helping somebody. So the goal is to help yourself and also help somebody else. That's one of the roles as a caregiver and as a Spoonie, pretty much, in my opinion. But that's pretty much what I had for you today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your feedback, your support. I really, really like it. Thank you for the new listeners. Thank you for the new supporters. Thank you for everyone. Thank you for following. Thank you for spreading the word. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to you, the podcast is growing. The community is growing. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and also, if you ever want to share your story, don't forget to send it to me at the Caregiver and Spoonie@gmail.com. You can do it anonymously. And also, if you want to share your story, you can post it on the community on Facebook. So as always, I'll leave you always take care of yourself. Have a good day.